Hey guys, Frost here. Welcome back. Today's video is going to be about the tier 0.5, also known as the Dungeon 2 set. With phase 5 just around the corner, people are getting prepared in advance for the new content, and so am I. Maybe you should too. Now, in my opinion, some of the most exciting content is going to be the Dungeon 2 quest chain, as for most people this will be pretty much something they never explored, something fresh. On top of that, the set reward will act as a catch-up mechanism for all classes, passing slot for some, gearing up, an alt, and so on. Also, due to their stats and set bonus, they could serve as great PvP and grind gear. Now, before you begin your epic journey to obtain your Dungeon 2 set, you will need to have 8 out of 8 Dungeon 1 Tier 0 set. 3 of the pieces are bind on equipped. Those are the bracers, the belt, and the gloves. They can be purchased from the auction house right now at a decent price, but when phase 5 will go live, I think they'll go expensive and maybe you should get them in advance. The rest of the pieces, other 5 drop from the old dungeons such as Blackrock Spire, Schoolman's, Upper Blackrock Spire, and Stratholme. Now, another thing that why people are skeptic to do this quest chain is because they say it's expensive. However, I don't think it's that expensive. I did a basic math on it, and these are the numbers I came up with. So basically, you'll need about 220 gold cash to pay at the quest chains. There are 4 major quest chains. The part 1 will give you the bracers, which is only 20 gold, and you're supposed to slay a couple of mobs around the world. The part 2 you'll get the belt and gloves. The gloves are the first epic piece of gear. Part 3 you'll get pants, shoulders, and boots. And part 4, which is the best one and the most epic one, you'll get the helm and the chest, which are also, I think, based on what I've seen so far, the best items possible in the set. So you will need 220 gold in mats, in raw gold. You will need a flask of supreme power, which used to be very expensive. 2 weeks ago I paid 400 gold for a flask of supreme power to raid in Black and Glare. However, with the recent changes to the Black Lotus, prices will go down. They already started to go down. Flasks are under 200 gold. I'm assuming by the time phase 5 is here, probably even 100 gold. You will need a delicate Arcanite converter, which is about 80 G. A couple of mooncloths, 2 or 3, which will be about 60 to 80 G. And a couple of rugged curd hide, which those are the most important mats, the most expensive. So based on my calculation, it can be under 1,000 gold with the current prices on both Gehenna's and Farlina NA. Now, comparing this to a piece of crafted gear, let's say probably Titanic leggings or Lionheart helmet, they are over 1,000 gold just for one piece. And here you get for 8 pieces less than 1k gold. And as I said before, this quest chain will send you to various dungeons. It will send you to an epic journey across the world, trying to basically you'll go to every map in the game, almost the higher level maps, and almost to every dungeon. So probably you'll make about half of the money back. It's not about the gold, it's about the journey. Let's go to the first set and talk about it. Let's go to the Hunter set. Now, the Beastmaster set does not seem to be as good for Hunters as Dungeon 2 set is for other classes. However, it does bring some uniqueness to Classic WoW, something you never see on other items so far. For example, the 4 epic pieces of the Beastmaster set provide the following. Damage dealt by your pet increased by 3%. Increases your maximum health of your pet by 3%, increases your pet's critical strike chance by 2%, and of course the chest will give you an extra 10% armor to your pet. Keep in mind that those items scale, and if you're playing a Beastmaster, wearing at least 4 of those pieces would be probably something great when you grind, when you do your DM North runs and so on, as the 4 set bonus has a 4% chance to restore 200 mana. Another thing to keep into consideration, everything in Classic WoW that scales with percentage of your gear and so on, it's gonna be good even when you move towards Burning Crusade. Assuming you can move your character from Vanilla to Burning Crusade, maybe for leveling these might have a use. In terms of intellect, agility, and stamina, they provide basically more intellect than tier 1. However, in terms of other stats, not really. Hunters have really great sets early on, such as Giant Stalker and Dragon Stalker. If you don't have these, maybe it's worth to go for it. If not, Beastmaster is something that looks great, and I think it's nice to have it in your collection. Moving on to the next set, we're going to talk about the Warrior set. The Battlegear of Heroism, it's a great set. Now, only I know how much I struggle with my Warrior to gear him up. I've been raiding for a month now with my Warrior, and I've barely got any pieces of gear from raiding, including ZG. And not because Warrior gear it's so hard to acquire, they don't have a tier set for DPS. There's so many in raids. Like on my last raid in Blackmanglair, there were 13 Warriors, and we're not only competing between Warriors, but we're competing between rogues as well. This set, the Heroism set for a Warrior, it's a godsend. It's a heaven sent. Now, starting with the best pieces from here, the helmet. Helmet has about 18 strength, 32 stamina, and 1% crit, which makes it great for a variety of things. First of all, it makes it great for PvP, as that stamina helps you a lot, and the critical chance. It makes it great for Fury tanking. I know it might not be the best in slot, but it's definitely better than Lionheart helmet, and it's probably almost on par with the helm from Veilstra's. Don't remember the name of it. Then you move to the chest, and the chest has great stats, a lot of armor, 21 strength, 13 agility, 1% hit, 26 stamina. Boots, the boots have a 20 strength, 20 stamina, and 1% hit. They're really great as pre-best in slot until you get the ones from Chromagus, or I think there are a pair of new boots in AQ40 that have similar stats, just a bit of agility on top. The gloves as well, stamina, a lot of strength, and critical strike. The set provides a total of 2% critical strike, 2% hit, and about 138 strength, 150 stamina, and 50 agility. If you compare this set of Heroism with, let's say, the rank 10 Warrior gear, the rank 10 Warrior gear provides 98 strength, which is almost 40 less, 9 agility, which is 40 something less, and 122 stamina. Keep in mind that the rank 10 set has no belt and no bracers, but still, even if you add decent bracers to the tier rank 10 set, it will still be almost on par. Now you might argue that has more crit, because the rank 10 set has about 5 crit in total and 1 hit. The Battlegear of Heroism has 50 agility, which is about an extra 2% crit with 2 from gear, and with scaling with the world buffs, it's probably even better, although it has more stamina and so on. So for Warriors, it's a great set for tanking, it's a great set for beginner DPS, and it's definitely a great set for grinding, which we get into that right now. Now, a 4-piece set bonus has a chance to heal you with 88 with 132 heal. If you stack this with the Trinket of Heroism, which heals you as well. If you stack this with your Diamond Flask or something, it can serve as a great set. 6-piece bonus have 40 attack power. However, I think on my Warrior, I'm just gonna play 8 out of 8 or 6 out of 8. I'm looking so forward to obtain this. So far I have 6 out of 8 pieces of Dungeon 0. I need to do a couple of more Upper Blackrock Spires, a couple of more Schoolomans. So let's move to the next set. Let's move to the Shadow Priest, or to the Priest. The Priest set gets updated to the Vestments of the Virtuous. It gets a huge change. Every piece of gear will have spell power, and as for the Warrior, the Priests, the tier sets from Molten Core and from Blackmanglair have only healing power. However, this one has both spell damage and healing, and it might be something great for either new priests or for someone who wants a second set for grinding and so on. You want to play Shadow, and if you haven't managed to save some of the off-spec gear from raid, this is a great time to get your set. Now, the set bonuses, the 4 pieces one, when combat, you will be protected by a shield which absorbs 350 damage, and the 6-piece set bonus increases your magical spell power by 23. In total, the set bonus with the 6 set bonus will provide a total of 120 spell power, about 100 spirit, 115 intellect, and about 108 stamina. Some of the bonuses: the head has 1% critical strike, 6 mana per second. The chest has 14 spell power, 6 mana per second. Almost every piece of gear has mana per second, which I guess can help the priest a bit. The boots have 7 mana per second. In terms of stats, it's not quite the greatest. If you have off-spec gear from GG and so on, you might be better going for it. But however, it's a nice addition to the priest, and I think it would be great for a shadow priest. Moving on to the next class, we're going to move to the rogue, which is one of the classes that benefits the most from this endeavor. The Darkmantle armor seems to be the most overpowered out of all the Dungeon 2 sets, and that's mostly because of the 4 set piece bonus. Chance on a melee attack to restore 35 energy. Now when I reached level 60 with my rogue, I used for a while 6 out of 6 Shadowcraft, and it tended to proc a lot, sometimes even 3 or 4 times per fight, for a boss fight. That means it's like popping another pistol T or something. However, with the release of AQ, this will benefit especially sword rogues a lot. There has been some theory crafting done by a couple of rogue channels out there, and apparently sword rogues will benefit a lot from the Darkmantle armor. Actually, it's probably 20 or 30 DPS better than the best in slot. Now, the items on the set, the chest has a 2% hit chance with a 31 agility. It's almost as good as tier 2 if you think about it, so the stats are great as well. The helmet has 1% critical strike, strength, and agility, which gives a lot of attack power. Boots have 24 agility and increases your stealth effective level. There are a couple of other boots like this in the game, so you will lose overall compared to the best in slot a couple of stats, but because of the set bonus, rogues will wear this as their best in slot, only if they want to do competitive DPS and so on. For a fresh rogue, obviously this is heaven sent, so props to the rogues. And let's move to our next class, which is the Warlocks. The Deathmist Raiment. This is one of the most beautiful sets in my opinion right here in Dungeon 2. It looks so great. An upgrade from the Deathmist, especially with the colors, it suits the Warlock more. And another thing I noticed on the Warlock set, it has a lot of stamina and intellect. Now as you look at some couple of pieces, for example the robe has 22 intellect, 27 stamina, 12% spell power and 1% crit. This is huge. The gloves have 16 stamina, 13 intellect, 13 spell power and 1% hit. Actually 2 pieces of the set have hit. Warlocks were complaining about hit. Maybe with this they can increase their hit or maybe closer to the cap. The gloves have 1% hit, and of course the mask has 1% hit as well, accompanied by 24 intellect and 24 stamina. Like I said, a lot of stats. Now I would probably, if I would play a Warlock, I would wear this whole set just for role playing, but needless to say, it does have including the set bonus 124 spell power. It does have a 4-piece sets bonus, which when struck down in combat has a chance to fear the enemy for 2 seconds, which is great for PvP. So you could use 4 pieces for PvP. Your choice. Probably I would choose the best looking ones and so on. All the pieces seem to have like similar numbers of intellect and stamina, and it just looks great and it feels great. Moving on to the next set, let's talk about some of the hybrid classes. Let's talk about the Druid. The Feralheart Raiment, another great looking set, this time for the Druids. And this time the itemization on the set, it's exactly what the Druids want. The Druids are the jack of all trades, the master of none, and so are those sets. If you take a look at the chest, it has stats a bit of everything: strength, agility, stamina, intellect, and spirit, as well as spell power, mana per second, and it seems to go like this through all of the items. A total of stats combined in the 8 set bonus are 86 strength, 64 agility, 95 stamina, 112 intellect, 85 spirit, 1050 armor, and about 77 spell power. This is not taking in consideration the 15 spell power bonus as well as the 26 attack power bonus. And another interesting thing, it's the 4 set peace bonus, which used to be 6 on the previous set. When struck in combat, has a chance of returning 300 mana, 10 rage, or 40 energy to the wearer. I'm assuming this is a depends on what stance you're currently in. It's a great set for PvP, it's a great set for grinding, it's a great set overall for druids, as it looks great and it performs decent. Now if you compare this set to the rank 10 set as well, rank 10 set has only 79 strength, 58 agility, 78 stamina, 67 intellect, 25 spirit. Like spirit has almost like, and about the same armor and the same spell power as the rank 10 set. So if you don't plan to get rank 10 to get some druid gear, this is a great replacement for the druids. It looks great, it has great stats, great set bonuses, and I think it's a nice addition for the druids. Moving on, we're going to move to the mage set. The old magister becomes the sorcerer's regalia, and some of the important features on this set, it's the 4-piece set bonus, which is when struck down in combat, has a chance of freezing the attacker in place for 3 seconds, which acts like a frost nova. Of course, if you play your mage with deep frost, with frostbite, with shatter combos and so on, this 4 pieces of this set is going to be great for PvP, especially if you use it with freezing bands, with like I said before, with frostbite and shatter. It's basically a melee killer. You'll have extra chances to win versus rogues, versus warriors, and so on. Not that you need any, but still it provides some extra skills. Now the chest has 25 intellect, 14 stamina, and 16 spell power. However, decreases the magical resistances of your spell targets by 20. It can be great for AoE farming, as you know, some of the mobs in ZG, for example, the crocs have an extra 20 to 30 frost resistance. If you wear this robe, you can have less resistance and so on. It's great for PvP, a PvP stat. It's mostly a stat that became more popular in Phase 5, so we're seeing it here on the Dungeon 2 set as well. The gloves have hit. If you're lacking hit to hit cap, you can probably use the gloves if you don't have like the tier 2 gloves or something, or the gloves from ZG, which drop from Jindo, I think. The helmet has crit and spell power, great for PvP as well, lots of intellect, lots of stamina, and so on. Boots are pretty good, 21 spell power as well. The stats are great, however the mage has access to better items unless you're a fresh mage or an alt that you use for grinding for AoE farming. This would be a perfect set for AoE farming. Maybe without the 4 set bonus, however, but hey, depends how you grind. If you grind with Cone of Cold and Flame Strike, it can work out. I'm afraid that the 4 set bonus for mage will win your pull with AoE grinding with procs. It's only 3 seconds, so the mobs might catch up, but nevertheless the set has about 107 spell power with the set bonus 130, lots of intellect, lots of stamina, and I think it's great for all those of you that have mages as alts to grind. Just get this set and you'll be fine. You won't need to do ZG anymore, you won't need to do Molten Core and so on unless you want it. Moving on to the Paladin. The Soulforge armor, or the mini judgment set, how I like to call it, comes with 8 pieces of spell power, strength, stamina, and intellect. All of them have great stats for a paladin. The reason why I'm calling it mini judgment because I compared it directly with a judgment set, and it's about 30% less stats than the judgment set. So if you're not there yet to complete your judgment set, or if you're a fresh paladin, this is great for almost everything. It has spell power, it has strength, it has stamina, it has critical chance with melee attacks as with spells, it has mana per second, it has a lot of stats that the paladin might want. Now if you get this set, you will be probably able to do like jump runs. Even without this set, I've seen paladins doing jump runs to mine in DM East, and they're doing it with Holy Shock or something. I think I can be able to provide a link. If not, there are a lot of clips on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, by various paladins that can teach you how to do that. The set has a total of 94 spell power. It has about 100 strength, 106 stamina, 104 intellect, and 44 spirit, 4000 armor. Of course, keep in mind it has a lot of mana per second, critical chance with spells and hits, and the 4-set piece bonus gives you a 95 spell power for 10 seconds, which is great when you want to pop your consecration and so on. Also, 6-set piece bonus gives you a 40 attack power, so it's a great hybrid spec. It does have a lot of stats. Just look at this chest. It's great. I think the paladins get some nice upgrades until you get your full judgment and so on. Let's move now to the last but not least, the Shaman. The 5 Thunder set, a great looking set as well. I love how it looks. It does seem to be a bit more beneficial for Shamans towards spell, compared to enhancement. If you want to look for enhancement gear, I'm pretty sure you can find much better. However, the set provides a total of 95 spell power, with the same bonus that the Paladin has on 4 pieces, like chance on a spell cast to increase your damage and healing by 95 for 10 seconds. It does have like the chest has a 1% critical strike with spells, lots of stamina, lots of intellect, some extra strength, spell power. The gloves have mana per second and spell power. The helmet has crit, spell power, and lots of intellect and stamina. Of course, spirit. It's a good looking set overall, and I think it can perform great for fresh shamans at level 60. Maybe you can use 1 or 2 pieces for raiding as well, god knows. It also have a 23 spell power 6-piece set bonus, which will get you up to about 120 spell power total from the set. I think it's great. I think shamans are one of the classes that benefit a lot from this bonus, unless of course you've been raiding for a while with a shaman and you already have off-spec gear and so on. So this is it, guys. These are the Dungeon 0.5 sets. Please let me know in the comments down below if you're already going for a set, if you have the 8 out of 8 bonuses, if you saved your materials. I would recommend buying some of the rare materials right now from the auction house if you plan to go for the set, because some of them might get more expensive when Phase 5 is going to be released. Some of those materials are the Dark Runes, maybe the Rugged Leather, the Rugged Curd Hide, the Mooncloth, Flask, maybe it will go down the Flask with the new Lotus changes and so on. Keep in mind, I'm going to post a link in the pinned comment down below, so you can go to the website with all of the complete guide, with all of the materials, with all the stages. And thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay frosty.